Namaste, my name is Katie and thank you so much for joining me. Today I've got a beginner yoga flow for you to show you some classic yoga poses, hopefully improve your strength, improve your flexibility, so I really hope you enjoy it. When you're ready, join me standing at the top of your mat in mountain pose. Mountain pose, we should have our toes together, heels slightly apart, feet parallel, drawing energy up through the legs, tucking the tailbone in slightly. Start thinking about drawing the tummy button towards the spine, tucking the ribs in, opening the chest, rotate the shoulders back and down. And from here we start moving with the breath. So we're going to inhale the arms up and exhale, hands to the heart, inhale up and exhale all the way down. So do that again, inhale to the sides, exhale to the heart, inhale up and exhale down. From there we're going to go into a forward fold. So we're going to inhale the arms all the way up. Look up if that's comfortable for your neck, and then exhale, hinging at the hips, swan dive the arms, forward fold. Now in forward fold, it's a really good stretch, important in all of your yoga practices. Stretches out the hamstrings, stretches out the back. Just think about releasing any tension that you might have anywhere. From here you can, if you like, hold onto your elbows and maybe think about ragdolling side to side. Think about shifting your weight from your heels to your toes. Having the knees bent if that's comfortable for you. From here we're just thinking about releasing any sort of tension, lengthening those hamstrings. Okay, and from here, with the knees slightly bent, hands find the floor, and we're going to inhale as we straighten the legs and straighten the back to a halfway lift. So we're going to inhale and exhale, soften everything down. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale down. And one more time. Inhale, halfway lift. And soften everything back down. From there, keeping a bend in the knees, holding onto the elbows again. Sway side to side. Making sure you're not holding onto any tension in the back, just letting that soften. And from there, bending the knees, inhale the arms all the way up. And exhale, hands to the heart. We're now start working in on our sun salutation. So we're going to inhale the arms all the way up. And we're going to exhale, hinging at the hips, bending the knees, hands find the floor with the exhale. And inhale to prepare. Exhale, step the right foot back. Lower the right knee. Come onto the top of the right foot. And just think about stretching out the hips, leaning your body forward into a low lunge. Take a few deep breaths here. And then come up onto the toes of the back foot. Push yourself up. Hands find the floor. Step back to plank. Lower to the knees. Come onto the top of the feet. Then chin and chest to the floor. Sweep through to a cobra or sphinx position. So we exhale down. Inhale, cobra or sphinx position. And take a couple of deep breaths here. Try and keep the neck long, shoulders rotated back and down, tummy button drawing in towards the spine. And then from here, hands find the floor underneath the shoulders again. Push up into a tabletop position. Come up onto the toes. Come up into plank, and then from here step your right foot forwards and then your left. Inhale, arms all the way up and exhale, hands to the heart. Now we'll do the same on the other side. So we're going to inhale the arms all the way up, exhale, fold, swan dive down, bending the knees, hands find the floor. Inhale to prepare, looking forwards, and exhale, step the left foot back, lower to the left knee, come onto the top of the left foot and stretch forward. Maybe walk the hands out a little bit, deepening that stretch, opening the heart. And a couple of lovely deep breaths. And then come up onto the toes, hands back in line with the foot, push up, step back, lower to the knees, come onto the top of the feet, exhale, chin and chest to the floor, and then inhale, cobra or sphinx. So exhale down, Inhale, cobra. In cobra, you should have your legs on the floor or on the mat, hands pushing away, shoulders rotated back and down, heart open, tummy button drawing in towards the spine, heels pulling towards each other, engaging the legs. And take a couple of deep breaths here. And then when you're ready, lower down, push back into tabletop position, come up onto the toes, and then step the feet to the hands, and inhale up. Very good. Now do go through some warrior poses. So we're getting to that through the sun salutation. So you're going to inhale, arms all the way up, look up, exhale, forward fold, bending the knees, hands find the floor. And from here we're going to step our right foot back, and from that we're going to drop our right heel down. So our right heel is in a 45-degree angle, and the position here you should be looking for is your front heel should line up with the arch of the back foot. And we're going to inhale and bring our hands up onto our front knee. Now this stance is used in quite a lot of yoga poses, so it's a good time to try and get the correct position here. You want your front knee to be as close to a 45-degree angle as you can. If you haven't really got the strength and flexibility to do that, you can shorten your stance a little bit. But yeah, you should make sure this knee right over the ankle, and tailbone tucked under slightly, drawing the stomach button in towards the spine. And in warrior one pose, we want our hips pointed forwards as much as we can. And hands on the knee, take a few deep breaths. And then one at a time, try and stretch your arms up. And then if you think you've got the strength to do so, both arms up into a full warrior one position. Take a couple of deep breaths. And then hands onto the knee. You can stay with this position, or if you like, you can move into warrior two. So warrior two is just opening the arms up to the side, opening the hips up. So I'll just show you. So from warrior one we go up, and then we open the hips to the side, stretch the arms out. Take a couple of deep breaths here. Again, the shorter your stance is, the easier it will be. If you think you've got a bit more, you can shuffle your stance a little bit longer. And then shift your body weight forward, hands find the floor, step the left foot back, lower to the knees, come onto the top of the feet, exhale, chin and chest, and inhale, cobra. And then come back onto the hands and knees, come up onto the toes, and walk or jump, feet towards your hands, inhale, arms up, and exhale, hands to the heart. Do the same on the other side, so you can inhale the arms all the way up, exhale, bending the knees, forward fold, step the left foot back, lower the left heel, check the alignment, heel in line with the arch, and we can inhale, come up into warrior one. Again, adjusting your stance as you need to. A couple of deep breaths here. Trying to think about still having those hips angled forwards. And then one at a time, one arm up, and then the other, and then both together. On the knee, and then from there, if you like to, if you did it on the other side, inhale and then exhale, open up into warrior two. So we're going to inhale warrior one and exhale warrior two. So hip position is now towards the side, arms stretched out long. Still making sure that knee sometimes really wants to dip in. You need to make sure that doesn't happen. It's still tracking over that front ankle. Shift your body weight forward, hands find the floor, step back to plank. So from here you can either lower the knees and chin and chest to the floor, come up into cobra. Or if you've got a little bit more to give, got a bit more upper body strength, you want a bit of a challenge, you can lower down with an exhale and then inhale, come up into upward dog. So I'm going to be just on my hands and my feet, so I'll show you now. So we're going to exhale and inhale, upward dog. The difference between cobra and upward dog is my legs are off the mat, feet and hands are the only thing touching the floor. And again, rotating the shoulders back and down, opening the chest, wiggle around, let it feel nice. And then from there, push the floor away, bend the knees, tailbone high into downward facing dog. So downward facing dog, you want to think about a long line between your hands and your tailbone. And then once you have that long straight line, think about stretching out your legs. So one at a time at first, walking out the dog. And then once you've got your back straight and your legs straight, you then think about lowering the heels down towards the mat. But chances are, if you're just starting out, you're going to have a deep bend in the knees and your heels will be off the floor at first. So from here, walk your feet towards your hands. Inhale the arms all the way up. And exhale down. What we're going to do from here is some forward folds, wide leg forward folds, and goddess pose. So from here, take your left foot and step it back wide. So you want your feet tracking outwards and your feet wider than your shoulders. And we're going to do, first of all, we're going to do some goddess pose. So just think about getting comfortable, maybe moving the hips, rotating the shoulders back and down, opening the chest, drawing the tummy button in, and then making sure that your feet track over your your knees track over your toes, sorry. We're going to inhale to prepare, and we're going to exhale, lower down to goddess. So in goddess, it's important that you keep the correct position and only go down as far as is comfortable for you. You don't want to get into a bad position and then try and pull your knees back. You want to just keep your knees tracking over your toes as far as you can. And then hold, tucking the tailbone in, drawing the tummy button in, opening the chest. And we inhale and exhale, inhale and exhale. With each exhale, think about sitting down a little bit deeper, keeping those knees wide. If your knees have dropped in, come out of the pose and try again. And inhale up. Okay, forward, wide leg forward fold. Turn your toes so they're pointing towards the side of the mat. Should be parallel. And from here, hands on your hips. Inhale, open the chest, shoulders back, neck long, and hinge at the hips. And bend forwards. If you've got any sort of strain in the back of your knees, have your knees slightly bent. It'll feel a bit more comfortable for you. Take a couple of deep breaths here. Keeping the back as straight as you can. Tailbone pointing upwards. And come out of the pose. Maybe shake the legs out. We'll do those two moves one more time. You might find, because it's your second time, you can go a little bit deeper. It might feel a bit more comfortable for you. So, checking the position, toes pointing this sort of direction. Hands in the heart. Inhale, open the chest, and exhale. Lower down into goddess. Now I'm going to inhale, open the chest a little bit more, and exhale, sit down a little bit deeper. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, sit down a little bit deeper. And then come out of the pose. Turn your toes inwards, hands on the hips, opening the chest. Inhale and exhale, pointing the tailbone back, keeping the core engaged. Forward fold, gently bending those knees if you need to, and come down. From here, if you've got enough flexibility, you can try and think about reaching towards the floor, making sure you're doing it with a straight back. If your back's rounding, stay with your hands on your hips until you've lengthened your hamstrings enough to get down a little bit further. And if you have the flexibility, you can always use your first 2 fingers, wrap around the toes and pull yourself down. And release, hands back on the hips and inhale up. Very good. Now we're going to come into some balancing poses. So we're going to do hand to big toe pose first of all. So for this balancing pose, all balancing poses, you need to engage the core and move nice and slowly. So I'm going to put my weight in my left leg. I'm going to start thinking about bringing my right leg up. So think about the stability of all my weight in my left leg, and then I'm going to hold my right knee. Open the chest, draw the tummy button in, rotate the shoulders back down, neck nice and long, and looking at one single point in front of you for your balance. Inhale and exhale. See if you can. If you want to stay with this position, that's completely fine. Otherwise, try your first 2 fingers holding around your big toe. Now you can either stretch that out in front of you, or as I said, just stay with the bent leg. And inhale and exhale. Having the standing knee slightly bent will help your stability. If you'd like, you can try and straighten that. And lift that knee in. Maybe it might feel nice from here to do a little hip stretch. Open that knee out to the side and lower back down. Okay, we'll do the same on the other side. Shake the legs out first. Think about getting your balance on that leg. Move this one around a little, engaging the core, long spine, and holding the knee. If you want to stay at this level, that's absolutely fine. If you feel you've got the balance to do so, first 2 fingers around the toe, hand on the hip, stretching forward, making sure you've got your focal point you're looking at. Helps so much with balance. Bring that knee in. Do it on the other side, open out to the side, lovely hip stretch. And stretch it back down. Lovely. From here we're going to go into some side plank poses. So plank poses are excellent for strengthening your whole core. So we're going to inhale the arms all the way up. And exhale, forward fold, bending the knees, hands find the floor. Now you can step or jump to plank. Plank's a really good position to hold. So in any sort of plank pose, you want to think about really pulling the core up and away from the floor. Don't dip, it's bad for your lower back. And then what we're going to do from here, I'm going to roll onto the outside of my right foot and the inside of my left foot. Side plank. There are all sorts of variations of side plank that you can do, but as long as you make sure you're pulling up through this arch, engaging the core, still drawing the tummy button in. From here you can reach the arm up and over. If you want to make it a little bit more challenging, you can stack the feet. And more challenging still, you can lift that top leg. Just stay there for a while. And roll back to plank. And take one deep breath here, and then we're going to exhale and move to the other side. Stacking the feet again, if you did it on the first side. Arm up over. Really pushing the floor away with this arm. and exhale. Right hand finds the floor, bend your knees, tailbone up high and push into downward facing dog. And roll back to plank, lower to your knees, cross the ankles and sit back. Okay, we'll do some final stretches here to close the practice, just to open up the hips. So stretch your legs out, maybe give them a little shake. And from here we're going to do some reclined pigeon. So we're going to slowly lay down on the mat and bring our right foot, cross it over our left knee and pull the left knee in towards your body. You can have your hands around your thigh if that's more comfortable for you. If you want a slightly deeper stretch, holding around the knee will allow you to pull a little bit deeper. Release. And same on the other side, bring your left leg up, left foot to the inside, to the top of the right knee, and then holding around the thigh or the knee and pulling in. And release. This time take your right leg up, cross it over, pull both knees in towards your chest. Might be nice to rock side to side here. And release. Undo the legs. Same on the other side. Hug your knees and rock side to side. And undo the knees. Roll onto your side and come up to a seat. I really hope you enjoyed that. Thank you so much for joining me.